10 mistakes that dog owners make. Having a dog is just like having a child. You take all kinds of responsibility for them. Help them learn new things, nurture them, and most importantly, you'll be filled with eternal love. But raising a dog and living with it is not an easy process. Known as man's best friend, dogs become both unhappy and incompatible with your life when they're not properly raised by their owners. If you own a dog or are thinking of owning a dog in the future, you should be well prepared for this process. There are many dog owners who give harm to the dog's innocent looks, stubborn barking, and cute pampering and ruin the relationship between them. If you want to raise dogs without having problems, you should stay away from the mistakes and wrong methods used by other dog owners. Here are 10 huge mistakes that people make while raising these little friends. 1. Walking your dog without a leash. First on our list is, of course, walking your dog without a leash. No matter how well behaved, compliant, or aggressive and anxious your dog is, you should not walk him on the street without a leash. Dog owners on this subject have undoubtedly encountered many painful events. You may see your dog as an individual, but remember, at the end, it's a dog that cannot overcome its instinctual behavior. Therefore, you may not be able to predict what it will encounter and how they will react to it as you show them around. 2. Changing their food all the time. Your dog's diet is one of the most important parts of raising them, because he gets all his vitamins from his food. When choosing food, you should pay attention to your dog's age and weight while adjusting the amount. The high cost of your dog's food may lead you to change it. However, if you switch to a cheaper food or unverified food without paying attention to the content of the food and without consulting the veterinarian, it can affect your dog's health very badly. As long as no food changes are made as a result of economic or misinformation issues, your dog will grow extremely healthy. 3. Going to the vet only when your dog is sick. Many dog owners only take them to the vet when they show signs of illness, rather than taking their dogs for regular checkups. This is an extremely wrong behavior, because when dogs get sick, they cannot immediately show it like we do. We too may not be able to recognize the dog's illness. As with any disease, any diagnosis is very important in dogs. So make sure to take your dog to the vet regularly. 4. Applying false information. Here is one of the biggest mistakes dog owners make. Get false information and try them on their dogs. If you want to have the right information about the process when you adopt a new dog, you should first leave your panic behaviors behind. And in this process, you should stay away from people who claim to know everything, your friends who have read some books about animals, or some false information on the internet. The best behavior you will do in this process will be to take your dog to a veterinarian to get information about its health, consult a professional trainer, and learn to treat the dog correctly. 5. Sharing food with your dog from the dining table. Dogs acquire and practice their habits very clearly, so the training process for them is as clear as black and white. For this reason, it will be quite confusing in your relationship with your dog about their nutrition to give them food from the dining table one day and the other day to feed them from your lunchbox. Because after a while, your canine friend might accept your dining table as his own feeding area and disturb you while you're eating with his insistent behavior. Remember, as long as you say, "But look at those eyes, how can I resist it? I'll give you a bite," you will do more harm than good to your dog. 6. Sharing your sleeping area with your dog. Sharing the same bed with your lovely friend does not pose any danger to human health. However, dog sleep is much lighter than a human's. Even if you are asleep, your dog may wake up and bark at sudden sounds and movements that may come from inside or outside the house to protect you. Thus, his already light sleep is constantly interrupted, causing a tired night for the dog. At the same time, sharing your bed with your dog harms the perception of the status among you, as it is an act of humanizing the dog. 7. To punish their mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes made by dog owners is to punish the dog's misbehavior. However, punishing a dog does not help them learn a certain behavior better. It will be much more effective if you train them using positive reinforcement throughout that process. For example, you can reinforce this good behavior by giving a treat when the dog pees outside, but not by hitting its nose with a piece of newspaper when he urinates. Otherwise, your dog will have feelings of fear and anxiety towards you, and this will cause them to detach from you in the future. 8. Creating a perception of obedience. Many dog owners try to create a sense of status by using methods such as the "be the alpha" of your dog, show that you are the owner, show who is the boss, in accordance to the relationship they established with their dog. However, this is very wrong. Working with a pressure system in the relationship with a dog is quite harmful. Instead, always establishing a positive and comfortable relationship prevents your dog from experiencing self-confidence problems later. So do not behave against your dog, such as hitting his nose or butt with a newspaper. Otherwise, permanent and traumatic perceptions may affect your dog's behavior. 9. Feeding them with the open feeding system. This feeding system, which is a mistake made by small breed dog owners, is very dangerous for your dog. In the open feeding system, large amounts of food are placed in the lunch bowl in the morning so that the dogs can eat as much as they want and whenever they want. However, such a feeding system adversely affects the dog's eating habits and bowel movements. If the dog, whose urination and defecation habits become frequent with open feeding, is not walked regularly, serious problems may occur in the house. Likewise, if us humans have a table that is always set up in front of our eyes, we will encounter big problems as a result of our eating habits. Don't you think so? 10. Not differentiating between the actions of rewards and bribery. First of all, every animal owner should know that rewards and bribes are different things. If you show them a treat while teaching a command, your dog's focus will be on the treat and not the command. This means training your dog to bribe. On the contrary, the food should not be shown during the process of learning. The dog should be rewarded randomly after achieving the wanted action. Keep in mind, in fact, during the process of dog training, owners are trained, not dogs. In other words, if you do not have the right information about how to behave with your dog, under what conditions and with which methods to train them, you may end up wanting to open up with your closest friend, and unfortunately, you may end up always having difficulty communicating with your dog in your home.